What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, internet family? It's your boy Said coming to you live here from the lab in Tampa. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Felt like Monday this morning, to be honest. I just got back from a phenomenal trip in the Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Had a blast, was able to hang out with some of my teammates, meet some new people, get on the beach, get a suntan, enjoy some great food, enjoy some phenomenal company, walk the beach, really just being one with the man again. Like, it was just amazing. So I'm back, rejuvenated, fresh, wanted to come in here and drop some content. All right, so it's been a few days since I've been on live. Last time I was live, I'm walking through some freaking hotel, walking people through, showing them this crazy hotel that we were actually at in the Punta Cana. But I wanted to drop this video here today because I think that this video and this content is really important. There's a lot of people all the time that talk about all these social media hacks and ways to get leads from social media and all the branding that you can get from social media. And they literally talk about all the great things. And trust me when I tell you that we're all here. Obviously, you're looking at this particular video, whether you're looking at the live or whether you're looking at the recording. And obviously, I love social media at the same time. But I want to go through 7 social media traps. I want to go through 7 social media traps and literally how to avoid them. And I think that they're very important, especially in this day and time. So pay very close attention. We'll be right back dropping some bombs for you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, customers are the backbone of any and all businesses. If you want to get more customers, we've got to seduce you all.
You've got to progress. If you want to attract bigger people in your life, then you've got to become a bigger person. You've got to become better at your skill sets. You've got to immerse yourself into personal development. You got to find a mentor. You got to find 1 or 2 people that have the results that you want.
Alrighty, family, let's get right into it. 7 social media traps and how to avoid them. I was actually putting together some content on the plane coming back from the DR that I was going to use for my upcoming podcast that's right around the corner. I'm going to give you guys all the details on that coming up real soon. But I'm going to be launching my podcast in about 30 days, right? And I was going through over the past couple of days while I was on vacation, different topics and different things that I wanted to launch off with my podcast. And I decided that I don't want to wait on this particular one because I think that is so important. And I think that people can really get some value from it. And the reason I think that people can get value from it is literally because there's so many people that talk about social media hacks on lead generation, on, how to become more attractive and how to use your brand better and how to really utilize TikTok and utilize Facebook and utilize Instagram and all these different places. And all these different places are phenomenal, especially when you're looking at building a business. You might know some people that literally use social media as 100% the way that they actually pay their bills. And I totally get it. On the same token, however, there's a few traps that I want to talk about here today that I think that are very important. And I'm going to forewarn a couple of people. On this video. First of all, I'm coming back from the Dominican Republic. I'm very refreshed. I'm on a high. I've had some amazing things happen to me over the past few weeks. And I'm at a point right now that a lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about in the future, I'm going to be totally 100% unapologetic about it. Let me be clear. I'm going to be totally 100% unapologetic about it. You only live one life, okay? You have to speak your truth. You've got one life to live. And if you know that you have one life to live, which we all have, it's best to live inside of your authentic self. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So with that being said, this might hurt a few people's feelings. However, if it does, I'm not going to apologize in advance. I'm just being me. And I'm speaking my truth with some things that I see, some things that I've done myself, some things that happened all over the place. when it comes down to social media. And I think that we need to address some of these things because it's very, very important in the society that we are in right now. So let's jump right into it. What are these 7 social media traps? Okay, what are these 7 social media traps? Trap number one, you might want to write these down because there's some goodies here. Trap number 1, comparison syndrome. Trap number 1, comparison syndrome. Have you ever noticed how sometimes you might get on social media and your life might be going a certain way? Your life might be going a certain way, and then you see Billy over here living his best life. You see Mary over here living her best life. You see all these magical things that are happening, whether it's travel, whether they bought a new car, whether they got a new business going on, whether they're flexing cash, whether they're flexing their back offices of their network marketing companies, whether they're flexing their cryptocurrency, whatever the case may be. And you might go into a little bit of comparison syndrome of, man, my life isn't moving that way. My life isn't moving that fast. Those amazing things aren't happening to me. Wow, I'm not traveling. Wow, I don't have any crypto. Wow, I live in the same house or whatever the case may be. And it's amazing how social media has created this thing within our body that we, by default, a lot of times will end up on TikTok, will end up on Instagram, will end up on Facebook, will end up on some social media site, and by default create a comparison to someone else's life. This is dangerous. This is very, very dangerous because a lot of people do not understand, nor do they know the chapter that that person might be in. Okay, you might be in chapter 1, that person might be in chapter 8 of their life. Okay, you might be in chapter 8, that person might be in chapter 2 of their life. So comparing your life to what somebody else is posting about what they're talking about can be extremely dangerous. And I can tell you as someone that is a grandfather right now, someone that's a grandfather right now, I'm actually happy. I'm actually happy that currently as we speak, like I'm not raising kids in this particular era right now. Shout out to each and every one of you that are, my kids are grown, but the things that kids see, the things that have them doing certain things, the influence is bananas. The influence is bananas. The influence that's on TikTok is bananas. The influence that's on Instagram is bananas. The influence that is on Facebook, it is bananas. And when you got kids, for an example, that are very impressionable, you've got kids that are very impressionable, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 15, 17 years old, and they start this comparison syndrome. Well, my life isn't like this. Johnny's doing this. Billy's doing that. Mary's doing this. This person's doing that. Oh, it's okay to do cocaine. Oh, it's okay to do drugs. Oh, it's okay to do this. Oh, it's okay to do that. These things start to get embedded in their neurological, inside of their neurological body system, right? And they start to think that things that they see online is okay. And we got to be careful with this comparison syndrome. Now, this goes for adults too. Don't get it twisted. But that comparison syndrome can be extremely scary. Whatever chapter that you are in right now, inside of your life, live that chapter. You got me? Live that chapter. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. Live whatever chapter that you are currently in inside of your life, and do not allow social media to influence you to a point that you try to speed up your chapters. Number 2, addicted to content creation when you're broke. Addicted to content creation when you're broke. Listen, you can make money on TikTok. You can make money on Facebook. You can make money on Instagram. But you got to understand something. You have to understand something. If right now, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever the case may be, if those platforms are not paying your bills, if those platforms are not paying your car note, if those platforms are not paying your mortgage or your rent payment, if those platforms are not putting food in your mouth, they're not paying your power bill, they're not paying your water bill, or whatever the case may be, don't become so addicted to content creation when there's a million ways to make $1 million. Do you want to create content? Yes, but you have to make sure that you're not addicted to it. I see so many people that carry an unhealthy addiction. They carry an unhealthy addiction to content creation because they want to be popular. They want to be popular. And this unhealthy addiction can really throw you off because you still got to pay your rent. You still got to pay your phone bill. You still got to pay your child support, your alimony, your water bill, your power bill, your mortgage, your whatever. You still got to pay all these things. So you can't say, well, I'm going to be a full-time content creator today when you're not even paying your bills on a regular basis from your job or from your current business right now. So don't be so addicted to content creation if you're at a certain chapter inside of your life, okay? Create some content, yes. Be consistent with the content, yes. But don't become addicted. Don't become addicted that you know every single day, I gotta create this. Every single day, your head's in your phone. Every single day, you're going through different pictures, creating collages. Every single day, you're waking up in the morning. What video am I going to cut today? What am I going to create today? Don't get so addicted and locked into that you forget what's going on in real life. Number 3, faking on social media and forgetting who you really are. Now, this right here is scary. Because what social media can actually do, it can allow us to be somebody that we're not. You know, it blows my mind. It blows my mind how so many people, and I know some of these guys that do this, it blows my mind how so many people will go and rent a car just for an Instagram picture, just for, you know, Facebook or just for TikTok or whatever. You know, if I was living in Miami right now, I would have a fleet of cars just to rent because of the amount of people that are willing to pay $400, $500, $600, $1,000 a day just to rent something, knowing when they're done, they're going right back to their Honda Accord. They're going right back to their Hyundai Sonata. But on TikTok, they look sexy. On Facebook, they look good. On YouTube, they look good. On Instagram, they look good. Listen, don't fake who you are. You know what's real these days? Being real. You know what's sexy? What's sexy is being authentic. That's what's sexy. 137 on the ticker here. I love it. If y'all know me, y'all know what my numbers are. That is sexy. That is sexy. Being your authentic self. Listen, if you've got a Honda Accord, do your videos in a Honda Accord. You got a Cadillac Escalade, do it in a Cadillac Escalade. You got a Hyundai Sonata, do it in a Hyundai Sonata. Because everybody isn't going to have a Mercedes. Everybody isn't going to have a Lamborghini. Everybody isn't going to have a Ferrari. Everybody isn't going to have, you know, some Bentley truck or whatever the case may be. Everybody isn't going to be in a position to have this toy. But you know what? When you are your authentic self, more people can relate to you being your authentic self than you trying to be someone that you really aren't. Did you hear me? More people can relate to you being your authentic self than you being someone that you really aren't. Because when you are faking, do you understand that you've got to keep that facade up? That's the facade that you have to keep up. And at some point, that facade is going to catch up with you. At some point, that person is going to know you don't live there. At some point, that person is going to figure out that was an Airbnb. At some point, they're going to figure out you're doing the freaking Bow Wow game. At some point, they're going to figure out that isn't the car that you posted on TikTok. You out here flossing, trying to be somebody that you're not. Just be who you authentically are. You know, I put a post up earlier today and I said that God can only bless the real you. He can't bless the fake you because he knows who you are. He can't bless the fake you. So we can't hide behind social media and think that we're going to get blessed when all the dust settles. God knows who the real you is anyway. So don't let social media gas you up that you become somebody that you really aren't. Number 4, avoiding real life issues. Avoiding real life issues. Listen, don't get so caught up into social media. Don't get so caught up in the TikTok. Don't get so caught up in the Instagram. Don't get so caught up in what's going on Facebook or whatever the case may be, that you go there as this haven, as this place to decompress, and avoid real life issues. In most cases, you're not actually going to decompress from social media. If anything, you might raise your anxiety because it's showing you that everybody else is balling out of control and maybe you aren't. That might raise your anxiety, not allow you to decompress. But don't stick your head down in your phone and avoid real life issues because you're so zoned in on what's going on in everybody else's life. You avoid the fact that rent's due. You avoid the fact that your car note is late. You avoid the fact that your electricity bill is due. You avoid the fact that the water bill is due. You think that these things are going to magically just happen. Magically, God's going to drop the source in my lap. Magically, there's going to be a check that's going to show up. Magically, somebody's going to show up at my door and save me. No. See, if you sit still and avoid real life issues, what's going to happen is those real life issues are going to compound even more. Let me repeat that. If you try to avoid real life issues, those real life issues are simply going to compound even more. So if I use myself as an example, if I try to avoid the real life issue of having high blood pressure, it is simply going to compound even more. If I know and understand that said, you got to start exercising more. If I know and understand that said, you got to make sure that you're in stressful situations. If I know and understand that said, you got to make sure that you're eating better. If I know and understand said, you might want to take that medicine. Said, if you want to avoid that medicine, maybe you need to do some other things that can help you out from a natural perspective. However, if I keep my head buried down in social media and I forget real life issues that are happening, then one day you might look up and not see me on Facebook for 2, 3, 4 weeks and you're wondering, hey, what's going on with Said? Oh, no big deal. He just had a heart attack and fell out. No big deal, because he was avoiding real life issues. Don't get caught up in avoiding real life issues, because guess what? Mark Zuckerberg has real life issues too. He's just a freaking billionaire with it. That's all. You might have real life issues as a hundredaire. You might have real life issues as a thousandaire. And in case you were wondering if there's such thing as a hundredaire or a thousandaire, your bank account will let you know if you are a hundredaire, if you are a thousandaire, or if you are a millionaire or a multimillionaire. Your bank account will let you know what category that you fall into. So don't get so locked in avoiding real life issues because your head is buried in social media. Number 5. Ooh-wee, this one is scary. Allowing likes and followers to determine how you move. Allowing likes and followers to determine how you move. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you something. I know people that got 2 million followers that are broke. I know people that got 20 followers that are rich. I know people that get 20 likes on a post that are rich. I know people that get 400 likes on a post that are broke. Don't allow the algorithm to determine how you move. Don't allow how many likes you got on a video, how many comments you got on a video, how many comments or likes you got on a post to determine how you move. Because what ends up happening is that when you get a lot of likes, Mark Zuckerberg is a genius. I'm gonna give him this, because what ends up ultimately happening is that when you get a lot of likes, when you get a lot of loves, when you get a lot of comments, it triggers your dopamine. It triggers your dopamine. And as it triggers your dopamine, now you want more. I want more. I want more likes. Dopamine is that feel good chemical in your brain, in case you don't know what it is. Not dope, dopamine. So now I've got likes. Now I've got comments. Now I got loves. Now I got shares. It is triggering more and more and more of your dopamine. So now you're commenting on every single one so it can help the algorithm even more. You're refreshing your page, looking, wow, I got more likes. Ooh, I got more comments. Ooh, I got more followers today. Ooh, 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 ooh. Dopamine, 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 dopamine. Now what happens is really simple. When you put up another post or another video, whether it be the next day, next week, or whatever the case may be, when you don't get that same effect, all of a sudden you're getting a reverse effect now. because you were so in search for the dopamine that now that you're getting the reverse effect, you feel sad. This post didn't get that many likes. This post didn't get that many followers. And y'all know people like this? Am I hitting home or what? Or not? Are you picking up what I'm putting down right now? Because this happens everywhere. It's crazy. This happens all over the place. If this is making sense to you, watch. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Ooh, increase my dopamine. Hit the love button. If this is making sense for you, hit the love button. The love boat. Think about this. Dopamine, 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 dopamine. I told y'all some people aren't going to like this. I'm just dropping some truth. See, you can't sit still and say, man, this post didn't get it. This video didn't get it. I need more. I need more. I need more. So now you start to get more creative. Now you look at that video or you look at that post and say, how can I create something similar to that? People are addicted to going viral. People are addicted to going viral. Why? Why? I don't think I've ever cut a video that went viral yet. I don't care if it goes viral or not. Like, real talk, I don't care. I don't care if I create a video that goes viral. You know what I care about? I care that the 1 or 2 or 3 people that were supposed to get the message got the message. Doesn't matter if 2 million people got it. Doesn't matter if 5 million people got it. It doesn't matter. This is not a popularity contest, but we live inside of this world that everything is about being popular. We live in this popularity contest, which is bananas. It's bananas to me. It is absolutely bananas to me. Be smart about this. Don't let your likes and your followers determine how you move, because if you let your likes and your followers determine how you move, you'll be at dinner. You'll put up a post, right? An hour or so. You'll be at dinner with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, with your husband, with your wife, or whatever the case may be. And while you're at dinner, you're looking down and you're checking and you're refreshing the page to see how many more likes you got, how many more followers you got, not literally being exactly where your feet are. Ooh, not being exactly where your feet are. Now, I can tell you, I've done this before. And I've learned and I'm learning. I'm still a work in progress like everybody else. But I can tell you right now that I know a lot of people, I know a lot of people that sit still, that get so addicted to wanting to go viral, that get so addicted to their likes and followers that it becomes obsessive. Number 6. This one is super scary. The need for validation. The need for validation. The need for validation can be a scary, scary thing. The need for validation can be rooted in numerous different areas of your life. Look, social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, they can feed really fast an empty cup. They can feed really fast an empty cup, because this validation can come from strangers to make you feel better about yourself. This is one of the reasons why I'm like this biggest fan of before you should be with somebody else, you should be comfortable with yourself. Now, I'm not a relationship coach, and I'm not going to act like I'm one. I'm not going to act like I'm Steve Harvey. I'm not going to do it. But here's what I do know. Here's what I do know to be fact. If you are comfortable with yourself, it's a lot easier to be comfortable with other people. If you are not comfortable with yourself, sometimes that validation from others can help you feel better. Ooh. If you constantly need validation from others to help you feel better, you're going to be looking for that validation for the rest of your life. And if you don't get it, or when you don't get it, it's going to make you upset. Some of y'all ain't ready for this. Some of y'all ain't ready for this. Oh man, that validation thing is a very, very scary place to be. That validation thing can change your life. That validation thing of inbox messages, of likes, of loves, of attention, that can be a scary, scary thing. Attention is a drug. Attention is a drug. It really is. Attention is a drug. And you have to understand how much dopamine are you triggering from the attention. I ain't going to elaborate on that one too much because I don't want nobody thinking I'm talking about them in particular, because I'm talking about a lot of people here. I am not talking about no one or two people. So if you think I'm specifically talking about you, good luck with that one. I'm talking about social media. I'm talking because there's so many people that fall into this. This need for validation is scary. Like we gotta be careful with this, because that's the same thing if you're raising kids right now. You got to think that if you've got kids right now, right, and they don't get validated by their parents, but then all of a sudden they go on social media and they get this validation from other people, it makes them feel better. So now they will continue to do that thing or those things so they can get more validation, so they can go viral. It seems like kids have phones right now for everything. For everything that ever happens. Have you noticed? For anything that ever happens, kids got phones and they get to whip it out. So if they do a video for something silly, right? They get this validation. Now it's like, oh, I want to do more of it. So I'll give you an example. I was with a friend of mine 2 weeks ago, and he was talking about, he lives in an HOA neighborhood, and he was talking about how his son decided to create this YouTube channel doing pranks in the neighborhood that they live in, right? Okay, well, first of all, he lives in an HOA neighborhood that the cheapest house is about 600 grand. So 600 grand all the way up to a couple $1,000,000. So you've got 15 and 16-year-old kids doing pranks in an HOA neighborhood. Okay, that's going to be a problem. Doing those pranks in any neighborhood is going to be a problem. But with the HOA, it makes it even worse, right? And he found out about this YouTube channel and shut it down ASAP and snatched the phone from his son and took it from him for a while, right? Like, screw this timeout stuff. Screw this, let me take your phone for a couple hours to teach you a lesson. No, how about I just take your phone for 3 months? There you go. Let me do that. I take the phone for 3 months. You know what happens if you take your kid's phone away for a couple of months? It's like they die. It's like they die. They can't live without their phone. Oh my God, I gotta have my phone. Oh my God, my phone. Oh my God. It's like it's blood in their body. Like, really, go outside and play. Go do something with yourself. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Go play, man. Like, we grew up, you had to go outside, and when the street light went off, that's when you brought your butt back in the house. Real talk. We had no phones. We had beepers. And our parents didn't even give us the beepers. Our parents now give the kids the phones. Our parents didn't give us the beepers because we were doing something we had no business. That beeper wasn't for your parents to beep you. That beeper was for somebody else to beep you. You feel me? So at the end of the day, that need for validation can start off at a young age. And I tell you that when you start thinking about it starting off at a young age, when there's a missing parent, it could be a missing father or a missing mother, or whatever the case may be. And if that validation isn't coming from one, if it isn't coming from the other, or coming from both, and then you're raising kids, or you see kids, and then you wonder why so many of these kids always are focused on going viral. You wonder why so many of these kids are shooting up, schools and all this other crazy stuff and doing just so many crazy things. A lot of it has to do with the sense of validation. And then some kids grow up to be adults and they still need the validation. And now, because of TikTok, now because of Instagram, now because of Facebook, you can go and get instant validation through a post, through a selfie, through a video, through a quote, whatever the case may be. Instant validation that can help you fill your cup. Be careful with that, because it can be dangerous. It can be very, very dangerous. It can be dangerous when you rely on outside sources to validate you. Did you hear me on that? It can be very dangerous when you allow outside sources to validate you. Because the more you need outside sources to validate you, the more it's going to have to keep happening. More and more and more and more and more. Y'all ain't hearing me though. Y'all ain't hearing me. Number 7. I got a bonus one in here. Number 7. This one is tricky right here. Number 7. Not paying attention to your screen time. Not paying attention to your screen time. So if you've got an Apple iPhone, right? If you've got an Apple iPhone, okay? If you go into settings on your Apple iPhone, okay? I want you to do this now if you're not on your phone, if you're on a computer, okay? Or if you're on your phone looking at this video, do it as soon as the video is done. I want you to go into settings and click on screen time. Go into settings and click on screen time. And it's going to tell you your daily average. It's going to tell you your daily average. It's going to tell you if you're up for the week or if you're down for the week. Okay, now let's put this into perspective. The average person spends 4+ hours per day on social media. The average person. The average American spends a little over 4 hours a day on social media. Now let's put this into perspective. The average person at a job works 8 hours a day. The average person at a job works 8 hours a day. The average person is 4 hours a day on social media. That means that between TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, you're 4 hours a day. When you look at your screen time isn't lying to you because it's your screen time. That's the time that your head is like this. That's the time when your head is like this. So if your head is like this, and you might not think, saying, I don't spend 4 hours a day on my phone. Look at your screen time. It might not be 4 hours consecutively. For most people, it's never 4 hours consecutively. It's not 5 hours consecutively. It's not 6 hours consecutively. But throughout the day, you've got these hours that are accumulating. Those minutes are turning into hours and they're accumulating. Now I want you to ask yourself this question. If you're averaging 5 hours a day, right? If you're averaging 5 hours a day, you got me sweating in here. If you're averaging 5 hours a day on social media with your head down, 5 hours a day with your head down, ask yourself, what could I be doing productive with those 5 hours? What could I be doing productive with those 5 hours? What could I be doing productive with those 4 hours? Now, most people, not most, but some people are going to say, well, say it, I'm actually marketing. I'm marketing my business. Okay. Are you really marketing your business for 4 hours? Are you really marketing your business for 6 hours? Really? This is an honest question. See, it's easy for us to fake on social media, but when the camera's off, it's just you versus you. It's you versus you when the camera's off. So when you cut the camera off today and you go in the bathroom and you look yourself in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth, you got to ask yourself, those 8 hours that I spent today on social media, those 4 hours that I spent today on social media, those 5 hours that I spent today on social media, was it all business? Was it just me promoting my business? Or was I going through liking other people's stuff to help increase my algorithm? Was I commenting on other people's stuff so they can see me commenting so their followers can start following me as well? I was posting content at the same time? I was trying to create something to go viral, whatever the case. Look, those 4 hours a day can suck the life out of you. What's 4 times 7? 28. What's 4 times 7? 28. Okay. If you look and you say, my time is worth $100 an hour. My time is worth more than $100 an hour. But if you look and say, and I'm just using this as an even number, if you say my time is worth $100 per hour, 4 times 7 is 28. Did you make $2,800 in those 28 hours? Did you? Don't worry, I'll wait. Do 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 Most people are going to say no. Most people are going to say no. You know, I have a mentor, right, that broke something down to me that just made so much sense. He said, Sid, when it comes down to your screen time, this is what I want you to do. I want you to look and see how much screen time a day that you're actually putting in. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video. How much screen time a day that you're actually putting in on your phone when it comes down to social media. And I want you to do everything in your power to trim it down to an hour a day. Just an hour. I'm like, wow, that's tough. That's tough. Now, this video right here, I'm at minute number 35 already. So I done already gobbled that up. Plus I done spent some time earlier today, right? So I done broke that fast. I done broke that fast today. I didn't do 4 hours a day though. I done broke that fast. I got two in. I got two in today. A little over two. Not a little over two today. Okay, because I had some other stuff to do, right? But I say this to say, if you actually schedule your screen time, it can start sending you alarms on your phone. You know, I have a gentleman that said that he made over $20 million before he was 20 years old. He was like, one of the ways that he did it was because of focus. Because of focus. He made over $20 million before he was 20 years old. And he said it was because of focus. Because of focus. And he said one of the things that he would do when he's working, he would put his phone on airplane mode. He would put his phone on airplane mode and work, do what he needs to do. And then when he needs to call somebody, he needs to text somebody or whatever, he takes his phone off airplane mode. Obviously, it starts dinging, 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 dinging with people that have text you or messages that you got or whatever. You respond to those messages, you respond to those text messages, you make the phone call that you need to make, you shoot the text out that you need to make, and then it goes right back on airplane mode. Now, most people won't ever do this. Most people won't ever do this. Hence, the reason why most people won't make $20 million before they're 20 years old either. Some people won't make $20 million in their lifetime. See, so many people want what's on the other side of poverty. They want what's on the other side of them being where they are currently in their life right now. But there's certain things that they do not want to give up. That they do not want to give up. So what if you knew that if you gave up those 4 hours a day and you trimmed it down to an hour a day, you just trimmed it to an hour a day, but that hour a day and you started producing more, you started getting more things accomplished. So instead of you doing 28 hours a week, you're doing 7. I'll even give you 10. Instead of 28 hours a week, you're doing 10. You're doing 10 hours a week versus 28. What did you get done in those other 18 hours? Look at what you gave up for you to say, I want a 6-figure income. I want a 7-figure income. Right now, we're sitting at the beginning of May, January, February, March, April. The first quarter of the year is gone. The first quarter of the year is gone. Capiche? David Copperfield made it disappear. Just yesterday, it was freaking December. 4 months out of the year gone, okay? So the first quarter of the year gone, the things that you wrote down at the beginning of the year, when you said you want to accomplish this, and this in 2023, is a quarter of that done already. Because if it isn't, you got to double up now. One of the ways that you can double up on this is by shutting down some of the time. Shutting down some of the time, being more conscious of the time, being more conscious of the validation, being more conscious of what am I doing? Look, Zuckerberg is already stupidly rich already. Are you? The people that own TikTok, they're stupidly rich already. Are you? What's wrong with you posting your? I don't think the TikTok algorithm has anything to do with likes or comments, to be honest. Now, I don't know the TikTok algorithm like that because I'm not on TikTok that much. I don't know TikTok like that. I'm going to be cranking out more content on TikTok. But one of the things that I figured out about TikTok is that what's wrong with you posting a video that you needed to post and then getting off that app? Because one thing I figured out about TikTok, it can take you down a rabbit hole. Oh my Lord, it can take you down a rabbit hole. It can take you down a rabbit hole of all rabbit holes. Next thing you know, it's been feeding you 60-second to 3-minute videos. We live in a world of ADDness. So you're getting fed all these 60-second to 3-minute videos, and you started looking at 60-second and 3-minute videos on one particular topic at 3 o'clock. Next thing you know, it's 4:30. You done looked at 50 videos. You're like, whoa, what just happened? Mm-hmm. You don't know what just happened? Look at your screen time. Click on the settings, look at your screen time. That's how they get paid. That's how they get paid, because our head is down. That's one of the reasons why we're creating so much ADD in the world. That's why YouTube Shorts became popular. That's why Facebook Reels are popular. That's why me doing a video right now that's 40 minutes long isn't going to get the views of a video that would be 3 minutes long. Okay? Because people don't have the patience to sit still for 40 minutes and listen to something that could change their life. I've got a coaching call tomorrow that is, I signed up for a 2-year program with Brendon Burchard. 2-year program. Not the cheapest program in the world. And my coaching call is an hour every week. It's all these different things that I have to do, all this homework that I have to do, because I want to become the better version of myself. I want to become better. I want to live this charged life. So I'm willing to invest in myself. I'm willing to hire the people to have the results that I want and listen to them. That's an hour a week that I have to devote on one-on-one. That's another hour a week I have to devote on group coaching. There's more time every single week that I have to devote on the homework. There's accountability if I do not have the homework, okay? These are things of saying, I've got to give this up or that up in order to get that. In order to get the charged life, I got to give up the comfortable life. In order to live the life of bliss, I've got to give up the comfortable life. In order to live the life of fulfillment, I got to give up the comfortable life. You said that you want to live a life of fulfillment. You said you wanted to be a 6-figure earner. You said you wanted to be a 7-figure earner. What are you going to give up? And I'm just telling you right now, some of these traps that people get caught up in inside of social media, they're saying out loud, I'm not willing to give it up. I'm not willing to give it up. I'm just going to stay sucked into it. Last one I'm going to give you is a bonus. And then I'm out of here, because I'm at minute number 42. And Lord knows, most people just wanted a 3-minute video. The bonus. And if y'all are getting some value from this, let me know inside the comment section if you're getting some value from it. The bonus one, your social media is your resume. Your social media is the new resume. Say it, I'm never going to get a job ever again in my life. Do you really know that for sure? Do you really know that for sure? It's your new resume. You got to think, what are you posting? What are you posting? Is this something that you would want a future boss to see? Is this something that you would want future grandkids to see? This is something that you want your kids to see, because once it's on the internet, it's on there forever. Oh no, it can be deleted. It can go in the trash. Mark Zuckerberg has it forever. You might think, look, think about this, man. Think about this. It just popped into my head. Kevin Hart. So Kevin Hart was hosting the Oscars or something, right? He got the thing to host the Oscars. And because of a tweet that he had put out a couple of years prior, they didn't want him to be the host of the Oscars anymore. Because of a tweet that he had put out a couple of years prior. How many big time names do you know that literally right now, because of this crazy sensitive world that we live in, this woke world, everybody's sensitive right now. How many big time people do you know that have been canceled or something affected them in a very, very big way that it cost them a $100,000 job? It cost them $1 million appearance. It cost them so many different things because of something that was on social media from 2 years ago, from 3 years ago, from 5 years ago, from 8 years ago. It is your resume. Now, even if you say, hey, I'm not going to get a job. Okay, great. You're a leader in direct sales. It's your resume. People are looking. Okay. Maybe you want to be a partner in a company one day. People are looking. Okay. Maybe you want to be a CEO one day. People are looking. It is your resume. So if your TikTok is your resume, if your Instagram is your resume, if your Facebook is your resume, if your YouTube channel is your resume, then treat it as such. Treat it as such. I'm just giving you real talk. Some people don't want real talk. Some people want fluff. Some people want people to just tell them everything that they want to hear. I apologize, but this isn't a page for you. There's another one out there somewhere. I'm going to tell you the truth. This is the truth. Truth is really simple. Your social media is your resume. Check. Okay. You must pay attention to your screen time because it's telling you where your head is, where your attention is going, where your attention is going. You look at your screen time on your phone under settings, and it'll tell you where your attention is going. Pay attention to that. 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, 8 hours a day. What are you accomplishing with your phone being in your head 8 hours a day? The need for validation. Oh yeah, it's real. Allowing your followers, your likes and your comments to determine how you move. Oh, that's real. Avoiding real life issues because you're buried in the social media, you're buried in this fictitious life instead of the real life. Oh, that's real. Being somebody that you're not. Oh, that's real. Being addicted to content creation when you're broke. Oh, that's real. And walking into this comparison syndrome because you might not be in the place where you want to be. And you see so many other people either living their best life or looking like they're living their best life. So now you look at your life like it sucks. When the reality of it is that you're on the other side of the ground. Your life doesn't suck. And if you want your life to improve, then start to look at the things that you're willing to give up. And I'm going to end with this. When you start looking around at your life and you really see certain things aren't adding up, it is time to start subtracting. With that being said, I got to go. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for the last 46 minutes. I know this one was a little bit longer than your typical 3-minute TikTok video. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, let me know inside of the comment section, and maybe I'll continue to do 45-minute videos because some people actually hang out on them. And some of them don't. Don't worry, I got some 3-minute videos coming too on TikTok. So for those people that just need those 3-minute fixes, but I just won't be hanging out on there because that rabbit hole gets that rabbit hole gets crazy. With that being said, I got to run. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for the last 46 minutes. I know you could have been anywhere in the world and chose to hang out with me. I'm going to end this video as I end all the rest of them. You thought I was going to change it up? Why would I do that? Go out there and make somebody smile today. You already know why. Because they deserve it and so do you. Until the next time. Deuces.